Good morning, Internet. It is a sunny morning, which is normal here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Unlike last week where we had 2 days of snow in a row and accumulation on the valley floor. I've lived here for 11 years. It was the first time I've ever seen anything like that. We get the occasional snow flurry in the wintertime, but nothing ever sticks. It was sticking. It was on people's cars. Nobody knew what to do. I made a really boring commute video, just like kind of in awe at it. And yeah, that was interesting. But we're back to sunny times this week. The magazine we're wrapping up the spring quarter of reservations for My Vegas magazine. We're simultaneously opening the summer quarter for reservations for My Vegas magazine, and closing up one quarter and opening another at the same time is utter chaos. It's fun, but it's utter chaos. And I have a whole new team of people that I spent the last couple of weeks training, and we're about to split teams. It's getting interesting. So we're all going to be working together on this next issue, and then the teams are going to split because we have to run My Vegas magazine and My Nashville magazine. And I will be heading up Vegas, and my girl Kate will be heading up Nashville. So it's interesting. We got doubled up teams right now, one big team, and then we're going to split it into two teams in a month or so. And it's really nice to be part of an organization that's growing, that's always changing. I really love what I do, and it's been a lot of fun. And then on that note, this commute where I'm on the 215 right now, and I'm doing 28 miles an hour. It didn't used to be this way. It used to be an easy hop on the freeway, 15 minutes tops to get to work, and it's consistently just gotten longer and longer and longer as the weeks have gone by. And so we have decided to relocate. The lease was up at the old place. Landlord wasn't renewing anyway because he plans on selling. So we're moving to the west side. I've lived a couple of places in Vegas. Haven't found the dream spot. So, been trying different things out. But of all the places I've ever lived in Las Vegas, they've all been on the east side. Now, if you're a Las Vegas local, you know what we mean by east and west side. It's not just the east and west side of town. The line that separates them is the Las Vegas Strip. And I have not spent any time living on the west side. But over the last 2 years, I've pretty much been working consistently on the west side no matter what my job was. I taught on the west side when I was still teaching. And now, of course, working as the marketing director for My Vegas magazine. That's on the west side as well. So I'm spending more and more time over here, and it's making less and less sense to stay on the east side. So we are moving, and that's why you can see that the seats are down in the back of the Volt. I have keys to the new place. We got a month to get everything moved, and so every day on my way to work, it is my ambition to drop a couple of things off at the new place. Seems prudent, so that when the big move day comes in a few weeks, we're just going to be down to big furniture. We're not going to have any of the little stuff. And luckily, this is a handy little hatchback where the seats fold down, and I can do stuff like put a big wine rack in the back and a couple of boxes. And I got a trunk up here full of clothes to take up to the new house. And I am in love with the new house. It's beautiful. It's much more space than we had before. I'm very grateful for the changes in my life that have occurred that are, letting me and letting us move on to bigger and better things. We really had outgrown the condo. So, we got Big Rob Deals functioning out of the condo, as well as my little sewing shop, as well as our lives. And it's just, we needed more space, and now we're going to have it. And I, for the longest time, have wanted a yard once again. I had a yard. Last time I had a yard, it was almost 10 years ago now. And I miss it. I miss having a yard. I want space to garden. I have my little patio, whatever apartment or condo or wherever we've been living. I choke the condos, the little patio area or the balcony or whatever it is we have. I completely clog it up with plants that I like to grow. I like to grow herbs and vegetables and lettuce and eggplant and all kinds of goofy stuff. I like gardening, and now I'm going to have a space where I can do that again with all my little potted plant garden. So that's going to be nice. More kitchen space. I like to cook. I'm looking forward to it. In sadder news, the very last Volt has rolled off the line. The last Volt a few days ago rolled off the line, I believe in Michigan, and Chevrolet closed the doors on Project Volt. There's not any more of these being made. And there were never any more of these being made anyway. This is a Gen 1, but the Gen 2, the Chevy Volt is no longer being manufactured. I don't know. I'm ignorant as to the details about the Chevy Volt, but I know that's on the chopping block as well. I'm very sad about that. I put gas in this over the weekend for the first time since, I think last October. Maybe one other time in between. But I haven't put gas in it. It's wonderful. You know, people ask me what kind of mileage I get. I reset the trip meter, when I hit the 1-year anniversary, so I know, you know, so far since October, what is my mileage? It's 163.6 miles per gallon according to this little computer right here, because that's how rarely I burn gas at all. And now I'm moving a stoplight away from where I work. I don't know the next time it's ever going to burn gas once we get moved. It's the perfect little get around town car. And then because of the onboard gas generator, when I need to go to Los Angeles and see family, when I need to drive to Reno, I just get in and do it. And it still does, you know, between 38 and 42 miles a gallon on the highway. What more could you want? What more could you want? It's a wonderful little car, and I'm very sad that they're not going to be making any more of them. I don't really understand, but GM has said that they plan on making quite a good many of their Cadillacs electric. So they've come out and said that, you know, they're going to keep making electric cars. We're going to keep on with the EREVs, and they're going to use the Cadillac as the platform to do that. Now, does that mean we can expect an all-electric Escalade? That would be really cool. We got the Model X. There's the I-Pace from Jag. There is the Rivian that's going to be coming out in 2021. The all-electric SUV, there is demand for it. I see Model X's all over Las Vegas all of the time. They are a very popular choice for people out here. And, you know, it's at a price point where, like, yeah, the Escalade is, you know, it's pretty damn expensive. People expect to spend a lot on an Escalade. It's a great big car. But, I mean, an all-electric Escalade, that would be badass. And for me, I would love to buy something that is American-made. The Rivian has particular appeal to me. But being a Chevy girl, you know, it would be really cool to get an all-electric GM SUV, and I definitely do see things going that way eventually. Not that I have any plans to replace Alessandro anytime soon at all, and Alessandro will always stay in the family, not just because I love the car, but because I don't even want to look up the depreciation. I know what I spent on it, and it's not worth anywhere near that much now. So we're just gonna keep them around, and you know, that's gonna be that. So getting off the freeway now, and gonna head over to the new house, which I'm pretty thrilled about. Oh, it's gonna be a good day. As nice as it was to have some weather and to see things get different with the snow, it's gonna be equally as nice to. Oh, I forgot about the construction over here. I should have gotten off and exit early. Oh no! Now I get to sit in this. It's gonna be fun. But as nice as it was to have that change of pace with the weather, it's definitely good to have our sunshine back. Our freeway system here isn't designed for ice. It's designed for heat. It's not made for this. So, like, the roads got incredibly slick with all the ice. There were lots and lots of accidents. I mean, there was, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage for all the accidents that we had in town. Lots of people crashing into stuff. So, man, my Volt people out there, my Bolt people out there, you know, I know we've talked about this a little bit in the past when GM first made the announcement that they were killing the Volt. How do you guys feel now that it's over? I mean, and it really is over. Alessandro is now an artifact of a bygone era. This is a test platform when Chevrolet was trying to figure out, okay, what's the next step? There needed to be a half measure. The number one objection that people have to driving EVs or to purchasing EVs, making them part of their lifestyle, is the infrastructure is just not there yet. You know, the infrastructure is just not there yet. If the infrastructure gets there, whatever there is, then yeah, I'd consider an electric car. But you know, I like my freedom. You know, I like it. And these are people who drive as much as I do, and I drive a whole damn lot. I really do. I drive, you know, the 30 minutes to work and 30 minutes to the other side of town, and I drive all over, and I'm always going. I'm running around. I'm meeting clients. I have meetings all over the place. I drive a lot. I do. I drive, you know, as much as on a really busy day, I can drive, you know, close to 100 miles a day and never leave Las Vegas. And that's not an exaggeration. Like, that's just literally how big this valley is. I mean, you could drive for, depending on where you're trying to get, where you started and where you're trying to get to, you can drive for an hour and still be in town, which is, for this here camping girl, is a little much. It's a great amount of the time I do feel like this is too much city for me. It really is. You know, I'm from Sparks, man, and Sparks was it's growing into a gentrified massive city now, but it was just this little tiny place when I was a kid, and if you drove for 10 minutes in any direction, you were in the middle of nowhere. And it's not the case here. I drive a lot, and the Volt definitely suits all of my needs. Doesn't matter about the infrastructure. There's no incentive for cities to invest in infrastructure until the demand is there. So, in my mind, that's a dumb argument. But for people who had that argument, that wanted EVs, that were sick of spending money on gas, you know, especially out here, you know, my husband just visited his family in Louisiana, and he sent me a picture of a gas station where the gas was $1.90 a gallon. I'm like, well, crap, at those prices, who cares whether you have electric or not? And, you know, there's no infrastructure where he was in bouncing between, I think, let's see, DeRidder, Louisiana, areas like that. There's no places to charge things. You didn't see a Tesla or anything around. But it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. But like here, we do have a little bit of charging infrastructure. We don't have a lot. But, you know, we have Teslas being manufactured in the state of Nevada, up north. We have a Tesla dealership here in Las Vegas, and they are an extremely popular vehicle. And we do have a lot of EVs running around town. You know, on my way here on the freeway, you know, I was passed by an I-8, and there are electric cars. They are here. There's Nissan Leafs everywhere. I see Volts all the time. Now, interestingly enough, I see a lot more Volts than I do Bolts. And I don't know if that's because more of them have been sold. I don't know why they're more popular here. But I do see EVs. And it's not until that we have a lot of people that are driving EVs that the demand is going to be there, that the infrastructure is going to be there. There's no reason to build that infrastructure until people start clamoring for it. And people aren't going to start clamoring for it until a lot of people have electric cars. Simple as that. So we live in very interesting times, and the Volt is like this, it's this weird little half measure. Like, we want to be environmentally conscious, we want to save money on gas, but we still want the freedom of there being, like, there's gasoline everywhere. Every single stop on the highway has gas, for the most part. There's very few places that don't have services, and if they do have only small services, the things that you can count on is that you'll be able to take a leak and you'll be able to get your tank filled with gas. Gasoline is as readily available as toilets are. And it's not until, you know, there are fewer cars dependent on gasoline that there's going to be less of a demand for it and more of a demand for EV infrastructure. The Volt is in my mind, now that they're not making them anymore, now that it's a past tense object, it's not a present tense object, it's very interesting to me. And this is like a time capsule of we're on the tail end of it, but this is sort of a bygone era object. When people couldn't make up their mind, we know electric cars are the way of the future. We do. That's gasoline, petroleum products, oil. It's a finite resource. There's not a limitless supply of it, And eventually it is going to run out. Now, when it runs out, I have no idea. There's all kind of estimates out there that range and vary widely. What is for certain is that as time goes on, it will be a more and more expensive resource. And as this resource gets more and more expensive, it will become prohibitively so. And people are going to feel that crunch when part of your budget, part of what you have to spend every week to live your life is the gasoline that you put in your car so you can get to and from work, so you can get groceries, so you can get your kids to school, so you can run your errands, so you can live your life the way Americans do live our lives. It involves a lot of driving. I mean, look at your cities. If we give up a huge amount of real estate to roads, to cars, to places where people do not tread and only cars are allowed to be. The number of places where cars are allowed and the number of places where people are allowed on foot traffic, that ratio is wildly out of whack. You would think we would give humans more space than cars, but we don't. We give cars that space. That's not going to change. We're not going to want to change our lifestyles about that anytime soon. People aren't going to hop on bicycles. They're going to, they're going to get in weird little Priuses. They're going to, it's going to be, a different change in lifestyle. And rather than going and filling up at the pump in 5 minutes, people are going to spend, longer amounts of time at charge stations, and we're going to need to find things to do when we're there. Now, there are companies talking about they're working hard on quick charge. If the quick charge technology could get there and become readily available in consumer vehicles, where we can get the vehicle charged, get it, ready to go back on the road from flat to full, or at least like 80% charge in around 5 minutes. Well, now you're talking. And I have no idea. I'm not going to pretend to understand the science that would go into something like that at all. But that's going to be what it takes. But for now, the last Volt's rolled off the line. Forgive me if I'm a little scattered. I feel like I'm in babble mode. There's so much going on. I gotta move. We gotta close one issue and open a new issue at the magazine. I still have so much packing to do. And keep an eye on car stuff with Catherine, because we have to repair. It's finally time to get the Silverado running. Rob needs a work truck. We have a truck that's been parked in the garage for almost 2 years, and she hasn't run. And it's time for her to get off her ass and earn her keep. So we're gonna have to replace the fuel pump on that this weekend is our big plan. And I have never done that before. I don't believe Rob has done that before. It necessitates removing the bed of the truck, which we don't know how we're gonna do in the garage of our condo. But we're gonna figure it out, damn it, because she needs to pull her weight. Well, it's time to get Old Yeller back on the road, and we need her to help us move, damn it, to our nice new house that I'm driving to right now. Ooh, pigeons! Good job, pigeons. It's also interesting. Like, this is going to be a nice little change. It's a lot quieter over here. I was right up against the road at the last place, listening to the road all night. For the last 4 years, I've lived in 2 places, and both of them have been right on the road. One right on Wigwam that we're at now, and then before that, one right on the corner of Spencer and Tropicana. So it was sirens all the time. Bad neighborhood over there by the university, and getting to move to the west side and be somewhere a little more family friendly, even though I don't have little children of my own running around. It's quieter over here. It's different, and I like it. I'm very pleased that I get to be here. And I'm here right now. Yeah. You guys want to see it? Go ahead and grab a key. I have all the keys to everything right now. All right, let's go see the house. Yep. Gotta find the right key. Goodness. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Nice big kitchen. Pretty happy about that. The previous owners of this place did leave us some interesting objects. They left us these little cups. They left us a knife. They left us some incense, and they left us some salt. And I am given to understand that somehow these are related objects that are meant to benefit us as new inhabitants of this property in some way. This is not this is not a ritual with which I am familiar. If you know what I am meant to do with those objects, please let me know in the comments down below. It seems like a thoughtful thing. I just have no idea what I'm supposed to do with them. But whatever it is, I'm happy to do it. Because what can it hurt? Here's the best part. You ready? This is my favorite part of the house. Backyard. Yeah. That's pretty good. Nice and sunny back here. Yeah. These are blinds, which we're gonna want to pull down in summer to keep the crazy Vegas heat off the house. But it's really nice to have them there. Rob said he can put up misters. I don't know what the previous owners did with this. This little pen here. There's a little latch right there. It is thought that it was probably a turtle pen. That's the thing that people do out here, is they'll keep tortoises in outdoor spaces like that. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. It's not going to be keep turtles. I like turtles. I wish them to wander free. Well, let's close the front doors in the house with a door open like some kind of animal. Let's go upstairs. I'm pretty freaking happy about this. It's close to work, and I'm gonna be able to have actual office space, which is gonna be nice for video editing because I have a lot of plans for videos soon. So this is gonna be my sewing room. Already got some of my sewing supplies moved into here. Every room has a nice big closet. Yes. Laundry. Fun, fun, fun. This is gonna be Rob's office. Pretty happy about that. Hallway bathroom. This is gonna be sort of the warehouse room for the inventory for Big Rob Deals, which is nice. He's gonna need that. So he has like basically that side of the house. And then I have my sewing room. This is the master bedroom. And if it looks huge, it's because it's huge. There's like this whole separate seating area in the master, like really cool. These windows that look directly onto a wall are a little odd, but I don't spend a lot of time looking out the windows in my bedroom, so those are pretty much gonna live with curtains on them. And then, oh, look at master bath, a big bathtub. I'm going to live in the bathtub. This is my favorite part. You ready? Yeah, this is the closet. This is a closet that's so big that it has a window. I've never seen a thing like this. This closet is the size of my living room now. I'm so excited. And every room has a ceiling fan, which is nice. Very, very interesting. There's a funny story about this place, which is that it was listed as a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And when I went to go see the place, I got a code to, view the place before it was ours to begin with, to open the little lockbox. And the person who had it listed was nice enough to be like, hey, yeah, go look at it. Just so you know, there's a door downstairs, this door, and a door upstairs, the sewing room, which are both locked. We can't get them unlocked, but if you can figure out a way to get them unlocked, be my guest. came here, saw the place, and could not get them unlocked myself. But of course, Rob could, and he we opened them. The one downstairs turned out to be a bathroom. So now instead of it being a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, it was a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And the one upstairs ended up being the room, which will now be my sewing room. So it was like, oh my gosh, bonus rooms all over the place. Ta-da! A little wine rack. And so it turned out it was really a 4-bedroom. And we were like, oh my God, we'll take it. With the bonus rooms and everything. So, I mean, the housing prices out here have gotten pretty outrageous. So to be able to get a house this size that was, you know, listed as a 3-bedroom, that's really a 4-bedroom, you know, it's priced at the 3-bedroom price. That's just steel. I'm pretty happy with that. Go ahead and put the wine rack right there. Yeah, I think that looks good. Rob's gonna build me a little top to go right here. And the fish tank will go on top of that, because I have fish that keep me company in my kitchen now, and they still will. Oh, this is a strange thing right here. This little alcove space right here. I don't know what to do with that space. I gotta put something cool there. I'm thinking maybe something Batman related. Something's got to go there. If you guys have suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. And then I think that's going to about do it for me today, guys, because I have a couple more things to unload, and I can't do it with one hand. So thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time on the channel, please consider subscribing right over here. Here's some other things I think you'll enjoy right down here. My name is Catherine. This is Evie's of Nevada. Please remember to like, subscribe, and smile.